Shah College of Engineering. Today I am going to discuss a subject called as Introduction to Python Program, topic on init method. Introduction to the init method. The init method is a special method in object-oriented programming languages. It is also called as a automatically when an object is created from a class. The init method is used to initialize the attributes or properties of an object. Syntax of the init method. The init method is defined within a class. It is always named dash init dash double underscore init double score. The init method takes at least one parameters, usually named self, to refer to the instant of the object being created. Purpose of a init method. The init method allows us to set a initial values for the attributes of an object. It ensures that the object is in a valid state created when created. The init method is also used to perform any necessary setup or initialization steps. Executions of a init method. When an object is created, the init method is automatically called. The init method is executed before any other method of the class. It is executed only once for each object created from the class. See here the init method public void init we are using. Next, parameters of the init method. The self parameter is a mandatory and refers to the instant of an object being created. Additional parameters can be added to the init method based on the specific requirements of the class. The parameter of a init method are used to initialize the attributes of the object. Examples of the init method. Let's consider a class called as a person with the attributes like name, age, gender. The init method of a person class can be used to initialize these attributes. We can pass the values of these attributes as the parameters to the init method. Calling the init method. To create an object from a class, we use the class name followed by parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis, we provide the necessary arguments for the init method. The init method is automatically called when the object is created. Default values in the init method. We can set a default values for the attribution in attributes in the init method. If no values are provided during object creation, the default values will be used. This allows for flexibility and makes a certain attributes optional. Multiple init methods. In some programming languages, it is possible to define multiple init methods in class. These methods can have different parameters list and serve different initialization purpose. The appropriate init methods is called based on the arguments provided during the object creation. Best practice for the init method. Keep the init method simple and focused on the attributes initialization. Avoid complex calculation or lengthy operators in the init method, and if necessary, delegate complex operations to separate method to maintain code clarity. Potential errors in the init method. Be caption of a potential error like incorrect attribution initializing or missing parameters. Check that the attributes are in a valid state after initializing to prevent runtime errors. Proper error handling and validation can help avoid unexpected behavior. Init method versus constructor. In some languages, the init method is also called as a constructor. However, they are not exactly the same thing. The constructor is responsible for memory allocation, while the init method initializes the object's attributions. Benefits of using init method. The init method ensures that objects are properly initialized. It promotes code reusability by allowing attributes to be initialized. Consequently, it improves the code readability and maintainability by certain serializing attributes initialization logic. Drawbacks of using the init method. Overuse of a init method can lead to complex classes with too many responsibility. It may limit flexibility if the class structure or attributes initialization requirements changes frequently. The init method can sometimes be overridden or bypassed, leading to unexpected behavior. Conclusion. The init method is a vital part of a object-oriented program. It initializes the attribution of a object and ensures its proper initialization. Understanding the init method helps in creating well-organized and maintainable code. Summary. The init method is automatically called when an object is created. It initializes the attributes of the object and performs the necessary setup. Next, the init method has a specific syntax and takes at least one parameter self. Thank you, everyone.